I want to ask you about, you've been around some great head coaches. I want to ask you about each of them and tell me the number one thing you learned from each of these guys.
Yeah.
We'll start with Todd Graham.
Passion. I mean, every single day this guy came to work with juice and energy. He is hands-on, like wanted to be involved in everything, in every facet of the program he touched. I thought he also was one of the best that I've ever seen about, creating a message, clear, concise message and spark. Right?
Yeah.
He brought a spark.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of good things about him from the people at Arizona State. They all talked about him and the discipline and how that place was run. Mike Norvell.
Extremely impressive offensive mind. He was a guy that, at that time, that's when, Sophia got sick, and he cares. Like, he cares about people. He wouldn't let me come to work. When Sophia first got diagnosed with cancer, he hired a sitter for our family, and he wouldn't let me come to work. So he had somebody help us, like making meals. I think that speaks to like Mike's heart.
Yeah.
But going against him on game day or in practice every day, like, this guy's super innovative, from a schematic standpoint, able to adapt. I think he, utilizes his personnel really well.
Yeah.
And again, work ethic. The guy works extremely hard.
Yeah. Kirby Smart.
When you talk about passion, like, Kirby's as high as anybody there. Mm-hmm. And he is one of the most intelligent people I've ever been around. He can see something once and memorize it forever. Mm-hmm. I remember being a GA at Alabama, and he's saying, hey, go pull up the lead zone in 2012 versus LSU. Like, we fit that the way I want to fit. Like, he's got that kind of memory and intelligence. He's a real person, right? Like, he's a great dad. He's a great husband. And but he just, there's not a lot that guy doesn't do right. And I'm really grateful that I got the opportunity to be around him. I think he learned a ton from Coach Saban and was able to build off of that. I think he took a lot of that footprint and then said, okay, wait, we can do this a little bit different and enhance it. And I think that shows up every day in his program.
Yeah. Last but not least, Coach Saban.
I mean, the definition of consistency. Yeah. Right? At times you almost feel like you're dealing with a robot because of how, methodical he is in his approach. Doesn't get flustered, watching the demands that he puts on his program and how he was able to bring that every single day. When I was there, I always said, sun's going to come up tomorrow at, 7 a.m. in Tuscaloosa, and Nick Saban's going to be in that office at 7:30, and he's going to be eating the same snack in the morning, and you're going to have this staff meeting. But the level of consistency in his approach that you got to see every single day, and then the decision-making that he would make, getting to be a fly on that wall and watch how his process of, we've got to fix this, how are we going to make it better? Mm-hmm. I always felt like, him and Kirby both, they didn't care who you were. If you had some sort of value that you could add to the program, like, they wanted to know what you knew. If you were a janitor in the corner of the room and you had a blitz package that was going to be good versus this team, like, he wanted to see it. And I always valued that. It didn't really matter who the person was. If you could bring value to the organization, he wanted to tap into it.
Yeah.